Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the Football Brotherhood. We are reviewing this weekend's games, as always, joined by my brother Christian. Christian, how are we doing, my friend? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, mate. Yeah, it was a bit of a mad weekend, wasn't it, with the games? It started off chaotic, so I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Yeah, definitely. The early one was brilliant. I really enjoyed Newcastle Chelsea, but firstly we've got to get into United.
Basketball,
Obviously,
man.
that was the Sunday game. We both predicted a Villa win, which did turn out that way. However, I did say I think United were going to do better than people expected, and I think that's a bit of an understatement. I thought generally Man United deserve something from the game. I think that's very fair reflection. I was really disappointed with Villa. If I was a neutral or if I was a Villa fan, I think they got out of jail on Sunday with a moment of brilliance and some really combined with some awful defending, which we are going to come to, by the way. And there is one culprit I really want to get stuck into. And United were not clinical, and this is the story. Look, I thought Cunha took his goal well, but he missed a gilt edge header, which you can't miss.
Yeah.
We wait all season for a good cross from Patrick Dorgu, and we get one, and he fluffs it completely. And Benjamin Sesko, man, he looks like a guy who can't crack 15 goals in the league, which is exactly what I said in the summer.
We did tell everybody.
I did a TikTok on Benjamin Sesko, and I had all the Bundesliga experts telling me he's the next Zlatan. So again, will he please make an appearance and show some confidence in front of goal?
Where was Zlatan at his age, Alex?
Yeah. Mate, look, with Sesko, I just know what he is already, and it's disappointing because I thought this was him, and I would have been surprised if we got anything better than an okay mid-table striker that gets 10 goals. And I believe that's who he will be for the rest of his career. I know United fans have this fixation that young players are going to get world-class in 3 years. Doesn't always happen, as we know. Anyway, Christian, quickly, before we get onto the defence, what did you think of the game? I assume you were disappointed with Villa. Got to be the worst they've played for a good couple of months, I think.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise from a Villa aspect. I did predict, Villa to get the win, as did you, but I thought they might have looked a little bit better against you than they did. I do agree, United did put in a pretty decent performance. They were wasteful in spells. But I do agree, I think they were a little bit unlucky not to come away with something. Villa looked very flat, and to be fair, I agree with you. I think they were bailed out by two really good moments, which, United don't help themselves in these situations sometimes, but in fairness to Morgan Rodgers, what a season he's having, by the way.
Yeah, he's on fire, isn't he, Rodgers? And you can take nothing away from the finish. I mean, let's get stuck into it, Christian. Obviously, 0-0 United did really well in the first half. We wobbled at the beginning, and Le Mans made a good save, and Heaven made some really good blocks. I thought it was Aiden Heaven's best game of the season, in fairness, so I'm quite happy for him. However, we're going to come to somebody that I did a TikTok on and I did a short on, and I knew it was going to be negative because people love this guy. Mr. Lenny Yoro cost a lot of money from Ligue 1, and I said 2-3 weeks ago, after he was awful against Everton, he gave a penalty away against Palace, clumsily falling over, chasing Mateta back, I think it was. And I did a short on him, and I said, I've seen a year of Yoro, I'm not convinced. I know people are fixated that he's the next Rio. I've said to you, I don't see it. I'm looking forward to getting your opinion in a minute. But before I come to you, I want to talk about the excuses that we get for young players at this club. And I can't speak for every other fan base because I support Man United. I don't feel like City do this. I know you certainly don't do this. You think the same as me. If you're good enough, you play. And if you are well enough to be on that pitch, you can be criticised. They're earning a lot of money, these people. Yeah. And I'm sorry, you're playing for Man United. You have to be. If you aren't open to criticism, you should be on the pitch. And if you can't take it and go away and improve, then I've got a problem. So Yoro is loved by this fan base. I've never fully got it. He seems like an okay prospect. I think he's been all right. I think he's been about 6.5 out of 10 since he's come in. Now, before people come for me on this, we are going to touch on the system. I know the system brings out what Yoro is awful at. However, you have to look at yourself in the mirror as well, mate. You cannot just go, I don't want to be out defending wingers and number 10s, which I know he doesn't. And in fairness, what centre-back does. But you've got to do better in these duels. You're meant to be this athletic monster. You're winning no duels. Let's come to the goals, Christian. before we come to the Rodgers goal, I want to go back in time a little bit with Yoro. And this is where people go, he'll learn from it, he'll learn from it, he'll learn from it. No. He's fundamentally flawed 1v1. And I've got evidence because I know people love Yoro. So let me just share my screen. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about now. And all our viewers here, I don't know if you like Yoro, don't like Yoro. Let's get to it. Okay. So, first clip from the weekend. This is the goal. Now, Lenny Yoro allows Rodgers to pick it up on the touchline, comes inside, he's about 2 yards in from the touchline there. Lenny Yoro's body shape there. He is on his heels, his right foot is planted, and he is facing the wrong way. He has to be opening his hips up a little bit. That's a poor body position. So what Yoro is doing there, right? I said to you, I think I texted you on Sunday, is Yoro not doing his homework on these players? Yoro there, he's done his homework. He knows Rodgers is trying to cut inside, but he is not showing him the line correctly. That is a fundamentally flawed defensive position from Lenny Yoro. I'm telling you, that left hip needs to open out a little bit. You need to show Rodgers onto his left foot. Now what happens? Because he's not close enough to be in that body position, Rodgers can come inside and he can tee off freely. Yoro can't. Look at his right foot. He's on his heels. He's on his heels there, Yoro.
Rodgers has got him exactly where he wants him.
Exactly, right.
He's banging trouble.
Right, so you think, okay, that can happen. Young player, good. He'll learn from it. Right, let's go back to a year ago. Everybody remembers this game. Southampton put United through the ringer. Suleimani against Lenny Yoro. Can you see similarities here with Lenny Yoro's body position? Again, open that left hip up and show him the line. Suleimani wants to come in on his right foot. Yoro is set up all wrong again. And you know another thing, for a guy that's that quick, he can't move his feet that quick, Yoro. So he has no bailout here. Yoro has to be showing Suleimani the line, but he also has to have a plan B if he doesn't. And the way Yoro stood there, if Suleimani, I think he might megs him here or something like that, Yoro is done. The same way Rodgers did him at the weekend. One more before I let you have the floor on this. A few weeks ago, Dewsbury Hall, again, same thing. Look at that body position.
Yeah.
You have got to be either tighter.
He's very heavily planted.
Look at that right foot, heels on the floor.
Yeah.
Mate, this is basics. This is fundamentals of football. You get on the balls of your feet.
You're right. His body position there. Dewsbury Hall can go either way because he's that planted. Even if the way he's showing the line, Dewsbury Hall could go one way or he could go the other, and I don't think he's going to be able to react quick enough to intervene.
100% agree, and we know what happened, obviously. You can see the caption there of my screenshot. Dewsbury Hall bangs it in the top corner. The thing I'm showing you here is that this is the Lenny Yoro will learn from it. Well, when is he going to learn from it? Or is he just fundamentally not a very good 1v1 defender? Not every defender who is 20 years old becomes world-class at 24. What if this is it from Yoro? What if he is just an average defender? Now, before we jump off of this body positions, I want to show you something that I saw from the weekend. You'll quite like this. This is just completely coincidental. I don't love praising City players, but okay, Jarrod Bowen in transition. You remember the chance. It's a very good chance. Bowen is very good. Bowen is a left-footed player. Look at O'Reilly's body position. On his toes, with his right hip slightly open. What does Bowen do? Bowen does not come inside because he can't. Does he get the shot off? Yes. However, Bowen is not right-footed. The right-footed shot goes wide. City get out of jail. Brilliant body shape by O'Reilly. A young, tall, quick defender. If O'Reilly there is closing that hip more, maybe by 45 degrees, like Yoro does, Bowen, believe me, will come inside. However, that body shape's bang on from O'Reilly. He recovers brilliantly and he forces a tough right foot shot wide. That's how you defend these examples. Nico O'Reilly, young player. That shows me O'Reilly's got good fundamentals. The other clips tell me Lenny Yoro does not.
By the way, as well, Nico O'Reilly, just for reference for anyone that doesn't know much about him, yes, he does play in the fullback position, but he's not naturally a defender.
No.
So, exactly. He grew up and came through the academy in a kind of more of like a box-to-box.
It's a great point. It's a great point.
So it is, Alex.
Tell me what you see in there.
Yeah, I think it's concerning because I don't really see going forward. He's not improving that part of his game. One little bit of sympathy I do have for him is that this is obviously a bit of a weakness for him. Like, you've brought out a couple of examples, and we do see it in game with Lenny Yoro. And I don't feel like he is being helped by the way Man United play and what he is being asked to do, because it clearly doesn't suit him. However, there could be improvements. If he is to be a top-class defender, Alex, these are basics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at that, Alex, me and you, we moan. We moan week to week saying the Prem has, well, not just the Prem, the world has gone in this direction of it's all cut-in and blast wingers. I mean, if you can't defend them, mate, that's the bread and butter. That's what everyone's doing these days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great point, Christian. Let's talk about the 3 players on the 3 screenshots that I shared. Obviously, Morgan Rogers plays off the left, or he certainly can play number 10. Either way, he's not a number 9. We know that. Yeah. Suleimani, left winger for Southampton, now in the Championship, I believe, unless he's left. I don't even know where the guy is. He turned up an annihilator Euro. I've never heard of him again. And then the other one is Dewsbury Hall at number 10. Now, what's the connection between those players? None of them are number 9s. Lenny Yoro's come from a league where I assume Lenny Yoro's playing in a back 4. He was 18 years old. Lenny Yoro wants to be picking up the number 9. Lenny Yoro wants to be wrestling with, I assume, a Calvert-Lewin, a Beto, a Ollie Watkins. Lenny Yoro wants no business with this. So let's come to your point, the system not helping Yoro. Yoro could not play this role. If Yoro is playing right centre-back of a 3, this is not going to improve. I believe he's fundamentally flawed 1v1. That isn't going to change. It's not a learning. Yeah. He's not... When people go, he'll learn from it. He's not switching off. Well, he does a bit of that as well, actually, in the box. But it's like, they're not concentration errors. The fundamentals that he's not got. Yeah. This isn't me picking on the kid. I'm sorry. He cannot be picking up number 10s and left wingers. And here's the point you're coming to there. Rio Ferdinand... Mate, he had to come up against Torres. He had to come up against Suarez. Yeah. He had to come up against Messi, David Villa. These players that you're not going to go through your career having Beto and Dominic Calvert-Lewin all the time. You're going to have to step up and deal with these tricky players. Aguero. Okay, this era of strikers is not... But this comes to your point where there's more of these cut-in merchants than not now. Yeah. So I worry long term with Yoro, and I know he's very popular, but I also know my fan base very well, and they will make a decision on a young player and will blind witness it till the day he leaves the club. A la Garnacho, he was the next Ronaldo. They gave him the Ronaldo song for no reason whatsoever. He's shit. I said he was shit from day one. I'm not going that far with Yoro. I don't want him to be bad. I'm just pointing out that I got a load of abuse on my TikTok for that Yoro clip 3 weeks ago, and I've given pure facts there and fundamentals. I know how to play the game. Yes, I didn't play it at high level, but I know how to show people down the line. Nico O'Reilly knows how to show people down the line. He did it to Jared Bowen 3 days ago. So I've got my evidence. Christian, I don't really want to go into too much more. I thought the strikers weren't very good either, and we touched on Sesko. Anything else you want to bring up on United, or just another loss?
I was going to say with Yoro. I mean, it sort of reminds me a little bit of Kusanov. Like Kusanov gets a lot of credit, and he's quite popular among City fans, even though we don't see him a lot. People call for him to start. Kusanov has blistering pace, a lot quicker than Yoro. You know, appreciate that. However, he doesn't look the most comfortable at times, and when players square him up, I am concerned because he's quite rash. His decision-making is a little bit off. And I don't feel like it's a crime to call this out in young players, because guess what happens if you don't call it out? They'll just keep doing it. So you would pray, Alex, you would pray that the backroom staff are doing this job and looking at areas of his game in which he needs to improve. If he's coming up consistently against cutting and blast wingers, and he's showing them on the favoured foot and he's flat-footed, Alex, they're not only going to go one way, they can go the other way and get it back onto the favoured foot. He's that heavily planted.
Well,
so,
I think the Suleimani thing, people said he's learnt from it. I think he's scarred from it. I think he's scarred from it because
he hasn't learned from it. That is just not true.
When I looked at some of those Suleimani clips, I appreciate that was a freeze frame. I don't want to bring up videos. I can't be bothered. And if you want to go and relive the nightmare that was Southampton at home last year, please be my guest. However, I watched a lot of them. Yoro was tighter to Suleimani and was getting done frequently, but he was getting tighter. The Dewsbury Hall and the Morgan Rogers clips, he's not even within 2-3 yards of the bloke. He's still got that poor body shape. But that's the point where it's like, oh, I've got this nagging memory.
He's scared of getting blitzed,
Not only did he not learn from the Suleimani game, and we're talking about a championship winger here. Come on, this isn't Neymar. Yeah. The Suleimani game that's apparently his welcome to the Premier League moment, as that should have been alarm bells anyway. However, he's not learned from it. He's scarred from it. And look, to your point, Christian, with the whole, support young players. I tell you what, how far is it going to get us if we all keep going, he's the next Rio when he's clearly not? I tell you what, should we just go with, is he the next Chris Smalling? Let's go with something realistic. And an okay on the ball, quick, tall guy. By the way, Smalling was a good prospect and he was 12 mil. This guy was 60. Like, you know.
Yeah, this is it. Look, like I just said, I don't think it's a crime to call out where defenders are struggling in the game. It gives them an opportunity to build and correct it.
I hope he's fucking looking at it like we are.
But the thing is, I would be concerned at this stage. You've brought this guy in.
60 mil.
The thing is, mate, is with these fees, you're paying 60 million for a defender. Now, 60. I remember when we paid 50 for Mendy, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, look! I know times have gone on. I know that's become more the norm." However, 60 million, you are not telling me is cheap at this point. You are paying 60 million for a defender, Alex. You would expect them to come in and be able to defend at a high level. It doesn't matter what age they are. You've paid that money. Someone said they were worth it. The club believed they were, and the club paid it. Now he's in the shirt, and he has to prove it. Currently, he's not doing that, in my opinion.
No. I've never been over.
If you have any different opinions on that, I think he has got some ability. I think his recovery pace is really good. But I feel like, if anything, he's more comfortable in a chase than he is with a standstill battle, like you say, 1v1, and really, Alex, that's not good enough. You need to be better.
He's also not aerial, very dominant in the air either. And I know, again, it's three at the back, and it's the confusion with the centre back. Are you picking up him? Am I picking up him? The sympathy with Euro, but at the same time, look, at any level, if you're on an island with a forward and you can't show him down the line, and they're coming inside and getting shots off at will, he's not even blocking him or deflecting him. Alex, they're flying in the fucking net, mate.
Alex, I was just going to say as well, do you not think it's become a bit of a cop-out? With this new, Pep era of centre-back, so obviously PK and Rio Ferdinand, obviously back in the day before then, and everyone seems to go with this now, they've got to be they're great on the ball. Do you not feel like it's a cop-out just because they're not that good of a defender? We had it with Eric Garcia, Alex, and he came in, and I was like, the guy's shit. He's not a Premier League defender. But all because he came through La Masia and everyone was going, oh, no, he's come through there, he's one of their top boys over in La Masia, we've got to play him. When he was leaving, Alex, I was not bothered. I did not care because I knew he would never be able to defend in the Premier League. And I feel like I hear it so often because it's such an easy comp to just go, yeah, but they're not that kind of defender. What? They can't defend? They're not very good then.
Yeah, I mean, surely Nottingham Forest last season showed you the way with two players who you're not going to say are ball playing in Murillo and Savage, and they were dominant. They
came past them, could you?
They came sixth, did they, or fifth, wherever they finished. Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, that just shows you. And by the way, Lenny Oro ain't Sergio Ramos, by the way. He's striding out with the ball like.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's not like you said. Garcia's that very, very soft. Like Christensen that Chelsea had, didn't he? Where he's very weak.
He's another one.
Nice on the ball. But yeah, no, I completely hear you. Look, let's move on, Christian. Let us know in the comments, by the way, what you think on Lenny Yoro. I know if you're a United fan watching this, I'm going to guess that you really like Yoro because I know how popular the guy is. But please tell me, what I've shown you there, given some evidence. Don't want to argue with people, even though I know people call me a twat. You know what's funny on TikTok? I noticed one of the comments. It was in the hidden section, where TikTok hide them for you. On the Yoro video, he went, look at him, the guy who got picked last at PE, telling Yoro how to defend. It actually
some of our comments.
Yeah,
some of our comments are brilliant on there. There's more in the hidden section than there is in the actual normal comments.
Anyway, another loss. We'll put that in the good performance but still loss category where we've got a whole host of them as well.
Just a quick word on Bruno. Obviously, he's out injured. Yeah. How much do you think this is going to affect United? In the coming weeks.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's been good this season, Bruno. Even in the role he's in, he's still contributed statistically. It has been really good. I think he's gotten better in midfield. It's been better than I expected, actually. I think I said to you, with them two would be absolutely dog shit, and it's not. It has had its moments of being poor, and I still think they get diced through. But generally, he's been pretty solid, Bruno, and obviously his offensive contributions are going to be there for probably his whole career. We're going to miss it. I think, look, I don't know what's going to happen with Mainu, but now is the opportunity for him, and he's got to be utilised because obviously Ugarte is not very good. I appreciate Casemiro suspended, so it's looking like Mainu and Casemiro, and we'll see what happens, mate. I mean, I'm really intrigued to see what we look like without him, but I'm also terrified as well. So, let's see what happens, and more responsibilities coming on Cunha's shoulders. I said to you, with Mbumo going, I think there could be a flurry of goals for Cunha, and he has got 2 in 2 now. And now with Bruno gone, I mean, we're all in on Cunha now. I mean,
it's imperative.
Sesko ain't going to get many, is he? So you're looking at where all of a sudden we've gone from Mbumo, Bruno, Cunha, Ahmad, who are all pretty creative and good for a goal, to now we've got one. And
Alex, I don't think with Sesko, I don't think the needles move much from Haaland. I think his general play is better. Because I think he's bigger. He's bigger and he can use his body a lot better than Haaland could. Haaland for a big lad was fucking useless.
Yeah,
I just didn't understand him.
Sesko's got that feeling of when he's 1-on-1, and he obviously had another one on Sunday, that he's never going to score. And it was very similar to Haaland last year when Declan Rice got back and got an easy tackle on him. Sesko against Spurs when he got injured, again didn't get his body in the way. The lack of confidence to if you're gonna slide, I'm winning a pen sort of. It worries me that.
The thing is with Haaland, Alex, he is crap, by the way. I'm not singing this guy's praises, or I'm certainly not going to go down the route of United should have kept him. They shouldn't. He's terrible. Both were terrible. Yes. Both should have never been signed. All I'm saying is with Haaland, I think there was an air of if he could hit some sort of form, he could maybe get a 4 in 5 and go on a little bit of a run. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be the cleanest of goals. Sesko just doesn't look good, man.
It wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth the whole transaction, in my opinion. The ceiling isn't that high, and I agree. But look, we need him to get going, because if Cunha doesn't score, I'm looking around the team. Maybe Casemiro. No, well, I'll tell you, we might be leading on Casemiro at this rate.
Alex, just another quick shout out as well in that game. I thought, I know we touched on his goals, Morgan Rogers, and this season he's having. I think he's been fantastic, mate. I think, do you know what? He's really putting his name in the hat in terms of England. I mean, he's going to be there, but you know what I mean. These performances don't stop. He's putting his name in the hat seriously, because Cole Palmer's obviously been in and out with injury. I know he's just come back. I tell you what, I won't begrudge it either. He's been superb.
Yeah, he's definitely going, and he probably should be starting. Probably will be starting the way he's going. I mean, if this hot streak of goal scoring, his finishing is brilliant. I mean, those you can't take them 2 finishes away from him. I mean, the first one he's literally top bins, and the other one does enough, sets it out far enough. I know he's a lot closer.
Yeah, super.
No, I think he's got a lot going for him. He's got really good ball carrying ability, technically good pace, power, shooting's ridiculous. So fair play to the guy, man. And if he can finish, if he can have a 15, 16 goal season, which there's no reason why not, I think he's definitely, for me, starts on that left hand side instead of Rashford and Gordon.
100% agree, Alex. And I think with Villa as well, they did. Although what we were saying, they didn't look impressive, but United are a bit of a banana skin, and especially for the teams that that you perceive will batter them or put them to the sword. Sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. United can be a little bit of a difficult side. I've seen that in the past, us playing you. And they did get the job done, because there was points in the game when it was 1-1. I even thought, I could see it going to shit, to be honest. The way the game was panning out, and they got over the line. So fair enough.
Yeah, look, they're gonna have games. Like I said, United are a strange team. You don't know how they're gonna turn up, and I thought more of the average players played quite well on Sunday. I thought Patrick Dorgu was really good. Should have had 2 assists. That was an absolute bomb of a cross from him. I know it's not probably something we can hang our hat on, but credit where credit's due. I can't slag him off for shit crossing and not give him props on that one where he lands it on Cunha's fucking forehead 4 yards out, and he gaffs it. And obviously he won the ball for the first goal. So I thought that was one of Dorgu's better games. Aiden Heaven, I thought, had a really good game. Le Mans, solid again, can't do anything with those two. And Cunha was good other than the miss, really. Sesko poor, obviously. Shout out the young lads getting a game. I really hope that if you get more minutes, which the way the injuries are looking, Shea Lacey and Jack Fletcher, particularly Lacey, because we have no goals in this team other than Cunha right now. So if your number comes up, mate, go for it. Try and get some fucking goals, because I think we're going to be struggling in the next few weeks. I
was just going to say this to you. How worrying do you think it is? Because, I think people keep glossing over, yes, you had a tough game, but another poor result at the end of the day. They're going to go down, another loss. Difficult. You've had a difficult spell. You've had West Ham, you've had Bournemouth, you've got Newcastle soon. I mean, do you foresee this getting any better? Or
I said we'll struggle against the mid-table teams. I know Villa are better than that, and ironically, Villa and Palace, who were top 4 teams, we did win one, should have won the other. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Your Bournemouths, your West Hams, your Evertons, your Spurs, your Forest. Shit.
Well, they're all between 14th, 15th and last.
And this is what people are telling me. That guy, he's not come back to the channel, telling me about when the fixture list eases because we had a tough start on paper. We've won 2 in 8 and one of them was against fucking Wolves, and we're going to come to them in a minute because they're a fucking joke. So look, Christian, I am worried. I am worried, but I don't know what I'm worried about because we're doing nothing anyway. So, like I said, we're just going through the motions. Another season probably binned. And they'll just have to make a call on Amorim. It's going to get to the summer in it because we'll probably get enough points here and there. It's not even like we'll just beat the shit teams. We'll beat the odd good one. We'll beat the odd shit one. Generally draw and lose to most teams, and that's basically us still. But I tell you what, if he slips into the bottom half, he can have no complaints, and he should be fired the second United drop into 11th or lower. He should be gone immediately.
I agree.
Because every other manager had that sort of, well, not even that. They all went when they were 6th, didn't they? Ollie, Jose, Louis, they were 6th and 7th when they got potted.
Well, the bar has gone to an all-time low, hasn't it?
He's lowered it, and he's benefiting from it. So, fuck knows, I don't know. Look, Newcastle Boxing Day, we're going to do a predictions episode after this, so please go and check that out. We'll get into it in a little bit more on the preview for Boxing Day and all the other games. Let's move on to City, Christian, your team.
Yeah.
A nice little fixture before Christmas. It felt like I think we both had a 4-1 prediction.
A little bit of a Christmas cracker.
Yeah, I mean, West Ham are poor, but for a 10-minute period in the second half where they were a little bit dangerous in transition. Obviously, we showed the Bowen clip, which I thought O'Reilly did really well with, clearly. Yeah. And then I think Donnarumma saved off Fernandez, off the edge from
hit him in the face.
Yeah, I suppose you're happy with that. Haaland could have scored about 6 goals. He did get 2. Fair play to him.
Yeah. To be honest, it felt like we didn't really get out of second gear, but we didn't really need to at the same time. No. There was quite a few positives. I think similar to what we've been seeing, really. I was hoping to maybe boost the goal difference, no disrespect to West Ham, but put them to the sword a little bit. That didn't happen. It could have potentially happened. But more of the same things that I've been seeing recently, Alex. Cherky, I thought was really good again. Neat, slowing the game down, picking the pass, got the pass before the assist. He slows the game down superbly, has the eye for that intricate little pass into the box. We end up with a goal. Haaland was a little bit wasteful, should have certainly had more goals than he did. But mate, the runs are constant. These people that say, oh, he's touched the ball how many times a game, go and watch the Alan Shearer podcast. That him and Shearer and Lineker were all talking about it, and they were saying people don't look at the amount of runs that strikers are making, and the great ones will they will never not be moving. Doesn't matter how many touches they've had. They are an absolute nuisance for defenders, and he is the ultimate.
Yeah. So look at it. It's hard to score goals. It's the hardest thing to do.
So it is the hardest thing to do,
and he does it at a higher clip than anybody. So what? I don't know. I think surely we're past all this now with Haaland. Just look at what he does game to game, and what if somebody could stop it, they would have done by now.
I think just some. Yeah, no, you're right. By the way, some more positive. So I thought Tijani Reinders, Alex. I was a bit concerned. Obviously, started so strong at Wolves, and then we started seeing a little bit of issues in his game, and maybe it's a tough league to adjust to, especially coming from Serie A, which is slow predominantly. You know what I mean? It is a bit of a shock to the system. Yeah. So he did have a bit of a struggle period, and it looks like he's coming out the other end. He's got himself a couple of goals recently. I thought that goal was really nice as well. He's got neat footwork when he's in close proximity to defenders. He's going to be very useful, and I think when we lost Gundogan, when we lost these players that can arrive late into the box and get a goal, I looked at Tijani Reinders and I was like, he can be that guy. And we're starting to see little glimpses of it. Look, I think it's going to be a slow build, and what I would say to any City fans, if you are watching, don't expect him to pull up mountains. I think it's going to be a slow period, especially under Pep. Look at Bernardo Silva. The first year was an absolute washout. Second year, we really started to see things take place. And I think that'll be a similar sort of story. with Reinders. But yeah, overall, mate, I thought really good performance. Again, Nico Riley, I thought I'd give him a shout out, especially after you doing the piece earlier in the video. Not necessarily on that game because he didn't have a lot to do. Whatever he did have to do, he did it right, as you pointed out. But I think his overall performance, Alex, since breaking into the first team last year, which was a really difficult year to break into the City side, and he was one of the stronger performers. This year it's carried on. I mean, we went and spent a lot of money on on Aït-Nouri, and we've not even seen the dude. Yeah. He's not going to get in the team. And I feel sorry for the guy because he's not done anything wrong. He's had one bad game at Brighton. We ain't seen him.
It feels like even if you had a bad result, O'Reilly wouldn't be the one to come out. And probably at the start of the season, his name was the easy one to cut. If we lose, well, we'll just change it up. He comes out and he's on the bench for a bit. And it doesn't. Now he feels like a fixture and he deserves that. He deserves that position, and it would take some bad games now for him to lose his place. I'm sure you'll see a bit of Aït-Nouri if there's a fixture build up, but no doubt he's your first choice left back, which is incredible, and props to him. And I was just going to say, I think City have got now this. You've got a good rhythm about you, and I think a lot of the players are playing well now. Reinders has got up to at least more of the level you expected after the Wolves game. There's not really anybody that you look at and go, "Oh God, he's playing," and like that. I think that's enough at the moment because. Look, you're going to take care of business at home. You're doing okay away, and all you've got to do is stay in touching distance of them lot because they're going to crack. You know they're going to crack. You just don't want to give them. This is what I said to you a few weeks ago. If you're within 2 points of them for the next 15 games, you're going to win the league, in my opinion. And I'll be floored if they manage to keep you that close and hold you off and win it. What you don't want is a slip up and go back to 5 because they are desperate for that 5-point lead. Of course they are gagging for it. God forbid a 7 or an 8. So big thing for City now. Just stay where you are. Obviously, go past them, but keep within 2 and they'll crack.
That's it, Alex. I think, look, we're getting the job done. We're not ripping up mountains when we're playing these games. I think it's a little bit frustrating watching City sometimes because you feel like when we get the early goal, you're like, today's the day, we're going to really put some away. And then it just sort of peters into a bit of a, we're comfortable, we will 100% win the game, but we're not like up in the gears. But I do think it'll happen. I think it'll come. And really, is it important? I am picking at straws a little bit. We're getting victories. They're looking pretty impressive. The players look a lot more cohesive together now. And I think the key was, when you made an interesting point and you were like, there's no one to look at that's playing in a position where you're strongly concerned. I mean, I don't particularly like the defence, but in terms of offensive areas, it was always when Bernardo Silva is starting on that wing position and Cherky's on the bench because Pep wasn't trusting him for whatever reason, you were like, right, we know we're not going to do anything on the right wing. We know all we're going to get is recycled possession. Now it's a completely different entity. You've got Ryan Cherky and he's a problem. So it's opened a massive window for us. The fact that Cherky and Foden are now gelling together and they're on the pitch week in, week out, that's huge for us.
Yeah, so, 100%. No, I think that's it. Take care of business. You don't need to, it's going to be that season where, it's not going to be the glamorous ones that you've, God, Arsenal, it'll never be a glamorous win. But with City, you're not going to be able to compare it. You're going to be efficient in both boxes. That's how you're going to win it this season. And it might be enough. And that's, like I said, keep them within range. Like where you are right now is absolutely bang on considering where you were 2 months ago. And I'm really interested to see how they deal with this. Because I've got reasonable confidence in City that it's going to play out. But we're going to come to Arsenal. Great. Obviously, City took care of it. It was a home 3 p.m. Saturday against West Ham. I expected exactly what we got. We're going to go in order, Christian.
Sure, mate.
Fortunately, the first one of the weekend was maybe the game of the weekend in Newcastle, Chelsea. And I predicted a Newcastle win. It should have been a Newcastle win. I was devastated. You got a little draw in there on your predictions. And Newcastle were at it. It felt like a St James's early kick-off where they run you off. They run you off the pitch in the first 17 minutes, which they did. They were 2-0 up, should have been 3-0 up, and they were just at it all over the pitch. It was like one of them games where it didn't matter who was playing. Like Joe Linton was on the bench. It was like Miley was at it. Gordon was at it. Anthony Gordon, by the way, off the ball, his work, and on the ball, by the way. How refreshing to see a winger not only be able to cross, but actually willing to cross. And he should have had Voltemada should have had the hat-trick, shouldn't he, with the cross right in half-time, which he think he got a toe but couldn't steer it in. And obviously Voldemar, a shout at him, by the way, heartbreakingly scores an own goal in his first derby against Sunderland. Got a brace at the weekend, wasn't enough for the win. What did you think of Newcastle? I mean, I was really impressed.
Yeah, I was very impressed. I mean, you are right though, aren't you? When they're in that mood at St James's Park, it felt like one of them Champions League nights where it's like, it doesn't matter who they're playing. It could be Real Madrid. That first 20 minutes, half an hour, they're not getting out of their half. It was superb. The only criticism will be is that they didn't utilise when they were on top enough, because I think they could have been out of sight. Really, they should have took 3 points. They did take the foot off the gas. Chelsea get a goal. Chelsea end up back in it, and they could have almost lost the game, which is mental because... Yeah, they need to work on this, and it really sloppy as well. The second goal from Chelsea, awful defending.
Didn't like
falls
that.
Asleep.
Yeah.
As soon as he's clean through a goal, you know he's converting. There was some ups and downs in that game. Voltemada, I agree, very good performance from him. I think he's a handy player, definitely. Look, he is what he is in terms of his build and his stature. He's not going to have the cleanest game about him, but he can certainly do a job for Newcastle, and if they utilise him correctly, I believe they could have a 15 to 20 goal a season striker. I know you might not agree with me on that, but I genuinely believe if they use him correctly, and once he's settled in more, I genuinely think they could.
I agree, and I think that, like I said, I think Gordon willingness to try and get his striker going, and I think that's a massive. I imagine Voltemada was down this week. And clearly Gordon took it upon himself to, I'm not going to cut in and shoot. I'm not going to spend all game doing that. I want to get my guy goals. We spoke about Salah's lack of wanting other players to do well in a Wirtz, in an Isak even, in a Ekitike, wants his goals for himself. Garnacho, cutting in, shooting. These players... Stop it, Gordon! Brilliant. I'm so happy.
He was at it, Alex. Garnacho.
My God. Yeah. Now let's come to Chelsea. Look, I said this. I was stood. I swear to God, Garnacho had played 10 games for United, and I was at what I believe would have been the 10th game ish of his career, and I was in the pub after the game at the end of Matt Busby Way. And a guy was saying to me that he's going to be the next big thing. And I went, he's fucking shit. He's shit. He's a left winger who shoots a lot, who can't shoot. What are you telling me? Is it because he dyes his hair blonde and he's got a cool name? He's crap. And Chelsea was stupid enough. Mate, to this day, United fans think 40 million was we got ripped off. Mate, we should be... United need to be laughing all the way to the bank. 40 million for a winger who can't cross, pass or shoot. And I tell you what, he's finding out now, because I went on Chelsea's Twitter at the weekend. You ain't getting this bullshit excuse United fans give you. He's young, he'll learn from it. Well, go and look at Chelsea fans' tweets from the weekend. I've had it with him already. This is what they're saying. Well, how many games have they seen? Well, we're 17 games in, he's not played every single one. So they've seen enough. They've seen the iceberg. I'm telling you, Garnacho is crap at football. He is... They might have seen the iceberg, but they've already hit it. And they're sinking with it. So this is the problem they've got. I mean, his lack of accuracy. When he has an angle... Oh my God, I tell you what, Alice, in terms of being a cut-in and shoot winger, I genuinely think he has the chance for top spot in that department of being the worst. I really do. He is. And to be honest, Alex, how many times did this guy overrun the ball out of play? Yeah,
he was being defended. I mean, shout out the fullback as well. Was it Hall on that side?
Yeah.
Hall, I thought he was superb.
Man of the match.
It was just bread and butter dealing with it.
It's fucked. Well, Hall can focus on everything else because you leave him in space, he'll balls it up. He's crap. He's crap. I've said it. We've been doing the channel for a year now, and obviously when we started, it was the height of the Garnacho era because he was playing every minute. Rubbish player. And look, Chelsea fans are finding out exactly what I've been saying for... I haven't been saying this for a year. I've been saying it for 2.5 years on Garnacho. Since, like I said, I saw enough 2 months in with him. Can't pass, dribble or shoot, and he does a lot of shooting. I don't know what more I should say about him.
What's your thoughts, Alex, on Chelsea in general? Because for me, they're such a hard team to gauge. I really struggle to do it. If someone asks me, what do I think of Chelsea? I really don't know. Because you can watch them in 20-minute spells, and they actually look really good, and you feel like they're kicking on. and then you can watch them in the next 20 minutes, and they look absolutely abysmal.
See, a team of individuals, no cohesion. Occasionally, João Pedro will do something good like he did on Sunday, albeit awful from Newcastle and Thor. Obviously, Caicedo's very good. Massive overspend, but he is very good. I've got to give him some...
Sure.
Reece James, very good. Chalobah's pretty good. They have players around the pitch that'll do something individually. I'm just looking now.
Cucurella as well. I think Cucurella is superb.
Good left back. Obviously, had a great Euros when they won it. Chelsea have won 8 out of 17 games, Christian, in the 4th. This is a joke this season. Chelsea have drawn and lost more games than they've won. We're nearly halfway through the season and they're 4th. This sums up the season. Liverpool didn't win for about 18 months. They're fucking 5th.
Yeah, it's true, mate. It's why I was thinking, look, when we were with the links with Maresca last week, and it's a difficult one, isn't it, to even start going into, because you can't really judge Maresca because the squad and Chelsea in general just seem to be a mess. I mean, Alex, we see Semenyo in the links for, obviously, City and United, rightfully in for him. He would fit in both. Well, I mean, you're an idiot having played wing back, but that's another story. You can understand though them two teams going for him. Chelsea straight in, they want him as well, and they'll get him as well. They'll pull some madness. It'll be on a 9-year contract, on 250 a week. Which I just think it's so hard to gauge them as a club because you don't know what they are. They just keep throwing money at the wall. Some is sticking. Like you said, I'm a big fan of Caicedo. When you're talking about the individuals, they've got some really good players. But in terms of cohesion, and this is why you can have these 20-minute spells where they look abysmal.
What if they spend $1 billion and Pedro Neto and Garnacho is 2 of the front 3? That's disgusting.
That's a war against humanity.
I mean, I'm sorry. That they should be fined. Never mind FFP. They should be fined by the fucking league for that. Who was that stupid? How do you spend $1 billion and end up with Garnacho and Pedro Neto running with blindfolds on, shooting every 15 seconds, and they can't... Look, we've been through this genre of footballer, and they've got 2 of the worst in Neto and Garnacho. You said Garnacho takes top spot. Honestly, the cutting and shoot merchants who can't shoot, just abolish it. Stop it. If I was Maresca, well, I wouldn't play him and I wouldn't have signed him, but I would say to Garnacho, until you land the cross on João Pedro's head, you are not taking another shot. Simple as that. And the same goes for you on the other side, Neto. Because you can't shoot, so stop it. That's simple. I don't understand. Anthony Gordon, he's pretty good at shooting. What was he doing in that first half? Looking for Voltemada. Yeah. And I've massive credit to him, and I hope it continues because it was refreshing. But Christian, Newcastle, they're 11th. At some point, it's very United-esque where another good performance, another non-win. You are 11th at nearly the halfway point, Christian. I
think that's the shape. I mean, look, Newcastle are in this period where they really want to be solidifying themselves as more of a European player in the Prem. And to be honest, they're not kicking on. I mean, you look at Aston Villa. Aston Villa are miles away from them now. You know what I mean? So it is concerning if you're a Villa fan. I know obviously Ryan keeps up on the channel. Wonder what he's if he is watching. Let us know your thoughts, buddy. I'll be interested to hear it because look, there's no questions over Eddie Howe just yet, but I feel like the longer this goes on, Alex, and like you say, if they are milling around mid to, dare I say it, even lower table, I'm sorry, the questions are going to start coming.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've got United, and this is a biggie for them, because if they win, they're 3 points behind United currently, so they got a level. They would jump United, and this is for everybody. This is exactly what I was saying earlier in the episode about United. Sitting in 7th, you lose on Boxing Day, they will jump us, and they're 11th.
Yeah.
So, 7th, if you just do the math, Christian, Chelsea are 4th on 29 points. Fulham are 13th on 23. 6 points separate 4th and 13th in the Prem. So if you're 7th and 8th, you could be 13th in 2 weeks. And this could be United, Alex, by the way.
I said it to you, mate, when we were, I think it was a few weeks back, and we were talking about United's up-and-coming fixtures. And I said, I thought you would beat Bournemouth. Obviously, that didn't happen. But I did back you to lose against Villa, and I back you to lose against Newcastle.
I don't see beating Newcastle, Christian. I don't.
I don't because fundamentally they're too strong. I think if they are playing...
Matchup. It's a bad matchup.
It is a bad matchup. It was a bad matchup for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Never mind,
it was a bad matchup for Chelsea. Chelsea got Caicedo in centre mid.
Exactly. Yeah.
So look, biggie on Boxing Day. We're going to do preview predictions separately, so we'll come to it. But yeah, look, Newcastle got to get rolling. I don't know what's going on there, but they should not be level with Brentford and Fulham, man. I mean, that's worrying. But like I said, half the league's in a position that's probably could change overnight.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get to some of the 3 PMs. I won't spend too long on these two. Sorry if we've any Bournemouth, Burnley, Brighton or Sunderland fans. We gave Sunderland massive credit. Bad result for Bournemouth. They should be beating Burnley at home. They obviously are going... Well, fuck me. I mean, they look like bloody 94 Brazil on Monday night against United. But they're going through a bad run. They've not won in God knows how long, Bournemouth. They're now 15th after that hot start. Semenyo was like on fire. Draw at home to Burnley, not good. I think we both thought they'd win. But albeit great point for Burnley. I think they've been a little bit better than their points total. I think they do deserve... They do deserve a little bit more than where they're at, although they're going to go down.
Well, you were one of them games, weren't you?
They were good at
Old Trafford.
Fuck me, yeah. Another one.
Shout out Bruno for the chest bump at the end.
Bruno, yeah. But, that was shameful, man. That was another iffy fucking pen, wasn't it? With Diallo with the old shirt pull.
I know. I think, obviously that game. Look, it was a bit of a tough one. What I will say is I am a little bit concerned that Bournemouth find themselves in the position in the table they are.
Do you think they could get sucked in? No.
Here's the reason I think they could is because Semenyo is concretely going.
Okay.
We just don't know who he's going to. That he's going to be leaving that club before the 10th of Jan. So, they would have hoped to have had a little bit more breathing room in terms of losing their best player. I mean, he scored again, Alex. It is a bit worrying that they could be faced with not having him.
No, I think it's a fantastic point, mate. What I would say about it as well is I'm looking at the league table now. You've got Leeds, Forest, 16th and 17th. Now, the way we're going at the minute, I know Forest lost last night against Fulham. The form table and losing Semenyo tells me that they're going to go past Bournemouth. That means Bournemouth are going to go to 17th. You are then straight above the drop zone. West Ham are 18th. They have got a 9-point gap at the moment. But if Bournemouth if this continues, if they lose Semenyo, they might not win again till Feb. And West Ham might get it together. But they're shit as well. I mean,
they need Evan Nielsen. I mean, he's on a big. He's highly paid at that club.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They've kind of got all the money into Evan Nielsen.
Well, we gave him a goal,
he isn't finding the back of the net ultimately. So
that's United.
Yeah, you kind of saw to it. But the thing is, I would be worried. Really, it would be a shame as well because I like the way Bournemouth play. They're a ballsy outfit.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a shame. But yeah, I mean, the thing is though, Alex, West Ham are absolutely appalling. So there's, have West Ham got enough to trouble anybody?
I don't know. Well, they've got to get going. They've won 3 games. Burnley have won 3 games. They've conceded 35 goals. Wolves have conceded 37. So West Ham are shocking. Second worst defence in the league. And it's only second to Wolves. Who
do you know what I might have a little punt on, Alex? West Ham to go down. Jared Bowen to sign for Tottenham.
Oh, what's that, evens?
That's yeah.
No, I hear you.
It's the most odds-on shit ever, isn't it?
Brighton, Sunderland, I'm not going to go into this much.
Brighton, Sunderland. Do you know what I would say about this game, Alex? I thought
go on, you can take the lead on
goals
this.
in the game, first of all, is ridiculous.
Right, really? Wow.
There was a lot of chances. Okay. Sunderland should have got something, man. I mean, I know they did they got a point, but I thought they should have got the win. I think they had some really good chances.
Right.
But look, if you look at it on the whole, they've gone away to a tough Premier League ground. I mean, we lost there, let's face it. And a lot of teams will. So it's a good result for Sunderland. Brighton didn't have enough to trouble them, although they did miss chances as well. Yeah. So it's what it is.
Keeps them 6th, Brighton 9th. It was a draw. I think I had it as a draw, and it was a draw. So look, props to Sunderland. Amazing season, by the way. And like you said, another. You'd have to say good result for them. And I mean,
Alex, people had them going down. People had them sailing back down.
I think me and you did. I
think we did. Yeah.
I mean, in a era of Championship clubs yo-yoing. I mean, why would you think any different? But like I said, Granit Xhaka for me is signing of the summer. Pound for pound, and I tell you another one who we're going to come to now. I think Jordan Henderson's not far behind him. A player I've never rated, but for the price, for the situation at Brentford and Sunderland, to get those 2 players in, and what they must have done to that dressing room, and performance-wise from both of them, I think it's a massive lesson to everybody coming up, promotion-wise. Try and find a veteran Prem player. Ideally centre mid like them two. And look at that. I reckon I'd have to go back and have a look. Me and you had Brentford and Sunderland bottom 4, definitely. Probably at least one of them going down. I definitely
Alex,
have Brentford
it's
going
true.
down.
Them kind of players are the difference between going down and staying up. They add a priceless experience, what they bring to the squad, and quality as well. In fairness to them, yes, they are nowhere near the best version of themselves, but they do bring undoubted quality. I mean, you look at West Ham, for instance, in comparison. You look around the pitch, you got your Paquetas head down, not giving a fuck. No, I'm not going off yet, mate. I want to take this free kick. 3-0 down. God. That's when you look around you, you're worried.
Captains, Xhaka.
Yeah.
Henderson.
There you go.
They've captained at the top level. This is the top level. It's the fucking Prem. But obviously, Henderson led a fucking title team. Liverpool. So, look, let's come to Brentford Wolves very quickly. Wolves, I deserve all my sins for thinking they were going to get a point this weekend.
You had a stinker and hooked.
I've got to be honest, right? Obviously, I watched the highlights, if that's what you can call them. Wolves at home are the worst team in Premier League history. Obviously at Arsenal, and maybe in away games, they will somehow realise how to defend in moments. At home, when they reasonably step out a little bit, they get decimated. I saw it against United. We should have scored 10. You, opening day of the season, you got 4. Brentford scored 2. They should have scored 5, 6, 7 in this game. They're awful, Wolves, and I feel for their fans, man. The empty seats round the stadium was one thing I saw, and it's horrible that I was thinking of that young lad, actually, the lad that Cunha went to see, and with a signed top, and I think he's ill, a young Wolves fan, and he was, and I think of obviously Cunha's favourite player. Cunha's gone for 65 million. Where did that go, mate? Do the owners just pocket the money and go?
Nuri as well. 37 million.
To lose your 2 best players, give or take. It's shocking, really, and I feel for the fans. I don't blame them for not turning up.
Alex, you've got to remember they've been on this slow decline for a while. You remember Gibbs White? Gibbs White went as well.
Gibbs White, Ruben Neves, selling. I actually thought Wolves goalkeeper had an unbelievable game, and like I said, it would have been a lot worse but for him. But the fact,
I think the attitude, unfortunately for the Wolves players, fair play. I did give them a lot of credit against Arsenal, albeit it was Arsenal.
Speaking of attitude, though, I tell you who's got a bad one: Strand Larsen. I don't know who he thinks you are, mate. If you walk up and roll the penalty to Kelleher's, Kelleher should have fucking held it. It was shocking, and you stand there and you don't graft after missing a pen like that. He obviously, you can tell from that Strand Larsen.
Don't give a fuck.
He thinks he's better than the club, mate. Roll your sleeves up, try and do something. You're the number 9 for a team that's got 9 goals.
Yeah,
horrible to see, and I feel for them, man. And they're gonna break Derby's record, Christian, comfortably.
Oh, undoubtedly, and I think they could break it by quite a bit.
Well, look, Pace projections say they're going to get 4 points this season. We're halfway through, give or take. They're on 2, so they're smashing that record. They might pick up. Look, the teams round them batter them. There's no way I see the fact that Tottenham nearly lost to them. It's a good segue.
They don't even look like they would be a good championship side. I don't think that they're not going to be one of the teams unless they make some reinvestment into the side. I don't think they're going to be one of the teams that's going to be in the race to go straight back up.
They're a poor side. Look, is it João Gomez in centre mid? He's a reasonable player.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know if any of them are even championship level. I agree with you. And the stats speak for themselves. I mean, if you're going halfway through a season with 2 points. But let's come to where one of those points did come from. Nearly was 3 earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Wolves went to Tottenham and Palhinha saved the day for Tottenham. However, he wasn't there to save the day on Saturday. They lost at home to Liverpool. Spurs are in free fall. Thomas Frank's under mad pressure. Tottenham are now 14th. They are slipping down the table back to where they were last year. In a mad game, they had 2 red cards, and it takes a very unique team and set of players to piss off a neutral like me the way they did on Saturday, where you play well against a team that's vulnerable in Liverpool, you are on top in moments, and your players get intentionally sent off. Both the pair of them, Xavi Simons and Romero. Even Romero in that last 5 minutes, they were on top. Liverpool were floundering against 10 men. And he just goes and makes it a little bit easier, Romero, for kicking out at Konate. Xavi Simons raking Van Dijk's calf. What are you doing? I feel sorry for Frank, man. Honestly, brain dead.
Alex,
from the pair
Romero is an absolute idiot. He is the biggest Oh God, I don't get him as a defender. He does a stupid thing and then follows it up with something even more daft and puts his team in a bigger mess. And that was exactly what the goal was. The first goal, he plays a shit pass, then he makes that mistake, and then he's running out, and then that leaves them completely wide open. Leaves the defenders having to man mark one more than they needed to.
Yeah.
He's just stupid. He's just an absolute donut. And to be honest, Tottenham as a club, mate, I don't know how their fans get through it year on year, because it is the most frustrating thing. Like you said, Xavi Simons, by the way, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're a fucking idiot. You came in and you're one of the highest paid players, by the way, my mate. And I tell you what, you are dropping stinkers on stinkers. I don't rate this guy. And, I saw him play a couple of good games for Haaland. And I thought, we don't really know what we're getting in him. But I tell you what, he ain't cutting it. No. Not a chance.
That's it. I thought Tottenham started the game quite well. And they just do this continuously. They've got a team full of absolute divs. Richarlison, when he scored, grips the guy by the neck in the. Do you want to get the game abandoned by getting red cards? It is just, mate, they infuriate me, and I have no connection to Tottenham. I do not care. Look, probably want them to beat Liverpool, clearly. I don't care that much anyway. But just from, I think you heard Gary Neville's tone on commentary when Romero got sent off. And as a neutral, you're like, fair play, 10 men Spurs. They're giving it a good go here. They got the goal with Richarlison. Liverpool are on the ropes.
Yeah. And
what does he do? He lashes out at Konate, and he won the fucking foul. You've got the free kick, you div. Honestly, man, I don't know how then. Look, one of my closest friends, my neighbour, is a Spurs fan. Watched the game with him, and he's just like, he's a bit numb to it all at the minute because, look, they're going to be back-to-back bottom half finishes, and they ain't going to win the Champions League, so you can forget that trophy. You're not getting another one of them for a bit. Just before we move on, I do want to talk about, obviously, Alexander Isak took his goal really well. And a first assist for Florian Wirtz.
He was going to come, wasn't it?
Brilliant, yeah. It was going to come against Spurs, wasn't it?
It was a nice way. It was a nice way.
It was nice from Wirtz. And he's playing a little bit better. And I did think that when Salah pissed off to AFCON, you might see the best of some of the guys that have been struggling, Isak and Wirtz, and they combined for the goal brilliantly. However, a split second after Isak takes the shot, Van der Ven snaps him, quite literally. I think it's an ankle and a leg break. Not sure how serious. He's already had surgery, so I don't know what the time scales are like for Isak.
Towards the end of the season.
But he's a 150 mil asset, and I'd be panicking. At least it's not ACL, I guess. If the fracture heals, you're probably okay. I don't think it was a break of a, the ones where like your Jibril Cisse, Luke Shaw breaks where it's a snap. I think it's a fracture. But he still had surgery, so he's got to have some...
Alex, this guy, people forget because of his recent form with Newcastle, especially last season, and they forget he has got a real bad history with injuries. This, Alex, it is worrying.
It is.
It's an immediate concern because they've just lost their number 9. It's also a long-term concern for the reasons I just said, because this guy hasn't got the greatest CVs when it comes to injuries, his injury record. It's a shame. Look, no one wants to see a player get injured like that. But I know you had some thoughts on it, bro, and so do I, so I'll let you lead.
This is something that this dates back to. It feels like we speak about it a little bit more now, and it feels like going back to the Harry Kane penalty in the Euro semi-final against Holland. And I remember Kane took a shot and the guy tried to block it, catches Kane after he takes the shot goes over, Kane holds his leg, VAR gives a pen, everybody's saying it's a load of bollocks. And I remember at the time, the argument, in my opinion, was if Kane hit a long pass from the halfway line and he got caught after he played the pass, it would be a free kick. For some reason, football does not allow for that, or I don't know what the rules say, but apparently if you get your shot off in the box, a desperation lunge by a defender is acceptable and you can snap them wherever you want. Doesn't matter. Oh, continuation, momentum. I'll tell you what's the difference in the halfway line then? If you hit a 30-yard pass to the winger and get chopped, it's a yellow card and a foul. So what's the difference when you're shooting? Surely the punishment should be more severe, right? Because if you're shooting, you've got a chance of scoring. You said Foden against Newcastle a few weeks ago. Same thing. Foden rushes to get his shot off and then gets snapped. Well, the defender's getting a load of advantage there. I don't get it.
Alex, this is where it is annoying me, and people aren't understanding. They're going, well, the player got the shot off, so it didn't affect him. No, but the defender has benefited because Foden has to rush the shot, therefore his accuracy leaves the conversation. They ultimately get away with him absolutely slamming into Foden, and it doesn't matter what he did because the shot was gone, apparently. No, you've got to understand, the shot, if he doesn't do that, Foden has a load more time, and he can sharpshoot that 1-0 up. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
And especially when, Alex, we're seeing situations like this, and now we're like, right, here's what can happen when you're letting this shit go, and it's not even a foul.
Has to be given as a penalty kick. I know he scored, so obviously you can't do anything other than that. But there will have been no yellow card.
It's actually dangerous play. To be honest, it's dangerous play as well. That, I mean, scissors over the ankle.
The basics of football, a late tackle is a yellow. But if you're shooting and the defender's late to block, that's acceptable. Because if you just don't get into the specifics of the tackle at the weekend for Van der Ven. Van der Ven was late. He was late, but he still lunged at a velocity that's broke a guy's leg. Now, how can Van der Ven be allowed to do that? If that was in the halfway line and Palhinha did that on Szoboszlai, the pass has gone and Palhinha's late and snaps Szoboszlai, that's a yellow card. No doubt about it. Every day of the week. However, Van der Ven, he's charging him with nothing to lose because these challenges get unpunished continuously. How was Van der Ven not booked after that?
Do you know what, Alex? I agree. Do you know what it feels like? It's like the rule where the keepers can go and knock someone out, break the jaw, and there's no absolute... You've seen it given once or twice, they'll make an example of a keeper, but 9 times out of 10, a keeper can go and swat someone in the face, and whether they've got the ball or not, it does not matter. They can literally get away with it. And this is the new thing, that defenders can just do it. It needs to change, Alex. You know, they're going back to the rule book every year and adding something new in. Usually, that doesn't need added in and making the game worse. Now, this is something they could do, Alex, to make the game not only better, but fucking safer. We've just seen a guy get his leg broken. Is this not a point where we need to start looking at this and going, right, you know what? The ball had gone. If he doesn't lunge in there because it's last ditch, and he might as well, because it increases the chances of Isak ballooning it over the bar, therefore he gains the advantage. Alex, it needs to be fixed.
100%. And just on that as well, you make a great point. They're tweaking the handball rule. They're pissing around. Oh, kickoffs now can go forwards and not have to go back. Stop with all that bullshit and start protecting the players with actual violent conduct fouls like this we just spoke about. What Harry Kane's trick that he was doing for about 5-6 years. I don't know if he's still doing it in the Bundesliga now, where defender jumps up for the header and he takes their feet away and they crash down. Dalot did it on Semenyo on Monday. It should be a straight red. I'm sorry, it's the most dangerous thing you can do. If a player jumps up, however high, whatever their leap is, Semenyo went up high, you take away their landing and they land on their back from 6-7 feet in the air. That is the most dangerous thing you can do on a football pitch. And hence Semenyo's reaction with Dalot. Harry Kane made a habit of it. AFTV were obviously Mr. Lee Judges has the famous clip. He's done it again, that Harry Kane. But I tell you what, that's another one, Christian, that they need to look at in the summer. You take someone's landing away with no attempt to win the header, red card. I'm sorry, it's dangerous. And that as well, this lunging in, because like you said, you might as well. Ridiculous. But let us know in the comments what you think. I might post this as a separate vid, Christian, and see what people think on it, because it's a talking point, and I think I think me and you are right on this. So let us know in the comments what you think about these last ditch lunges.
I'd be interested to hear, because we never really hear fans talking about this one, and I don't think, when you think about all the woke changes we've had, I really don't think this is one of them.
Well, do you agree on the Dalot Semenyo incident and the Harry Kane trademark? Do you agree with that as well?
What do you mean?
How dangerous that is, where somebody goes up for a header.
Oh, yeah. Because you cause an injury. Yeah, because you cause an injury, or you risk an injury. It doesn't make sense to me. So, no, look, it is something they've got to go back and look at. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they see this fucking video, man.
That's it, yeah. A couple more games. Everton played Arsenal in a very, very poor game. Everton lack goals with their first choice team. They've lost two of their attacking trio. Dewsbury Hall and Dyer has obviously gone to AFCON. Everton are one of the worst offences in the league. just looking now, they've got 18 goals in 17 games, Christian.
Bro, they look toothless.
They are toothless.
In all honesty. I think they're going to have a bit of a tough period because as much as I do like Jack Grealish, the guy doesn't come up with numbers, and they're in a period now where they've got two strikers who, to be honest, I'd say it's a compliment to call them Championship strikers, never mind Premier League. Dewsbury, Haaland and Dye obviously aren't going to feature. I don't know how serious the Dewsbury Hall injury is, but they need him back fast.
Yeah, no, you're right, Christian. I mean, Tieno Barry and Beto is Everton's two strikers. They've both got 1 in 17 games this season. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who they let go, has got 7. This is a real bad situation for Everton, who let a reasonably good Prem striker go and splashed 60 million on Beto and Barry, who have got 2 goals between them. And look, Calvert-Lewin could be looking at a 15, 16 goal season, man. This is not a good look for Everton. They should have just renewed Calvert-Lewin in the situation and not wasted money on some prayers like Beto and Barry, who are poor players. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, I believe they did actually want to renew him, but there was a bit of a conflict over money. So our mate's an Everton fan, he was telling me this, so I'll take his word on that. But I think that he put them in a bit of an awkward situation. But I agree with you. They have spunked money up the wall on them too. Terrible footballers. They need better. So it's going to be a tough spell. I thought Arsenal though, Alex. They didn't impress me. They don't impress me every time I watch them, to be honest. They are boring. They put in... I mean, it says it all, doesn't it? That, they've always got to glaze Arsenal a little bit in the highlights. The highlight of glazing them was how quick they ran back off a 93rd minute corner. And I thought, my God, we are scraping the barrel here. It was shit. And to be fair, Alex, Jesus coming back is actually huge for them. Not huge in terms of goals, because that guy can't score. No. But he will open up the game a lot more, and it's a bit more like the Firmino thing, which he does create more space for the wingers who ultimately can score goals. Gyökeres is crap. He is absolutely dog shit. The guy looks like he plays in jeans. I've seen that meme, and you can't unsee it once you've read that meme. It's hilarious. I would be worried, Alex.
Penalty, though. That penalty.
No, the old mask was out.
Even he was a bit embarrassed. Even he didn't give it the full bane. He went like...
I know, yeah. Mate, honestly, that guy has more hair fixes in one game than touches.
Oh,
what is the guy? Honestly, he's on camera taking the penalty. He's like this.
Yeah.
Fucking hell,
he's
dude.
Learned from,
just
Captain...
start scoring.
He's learned from Captain Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, look, to your point, Saka and Trossard missing those gilt-edged. I mean... Saka and Trossard cannot miss those chances they missed at the weekend. Oh no, he hit the post, Trossard. You've not got goals from the number 9 position. You two have got to, and Odegaard, by the way. Look, I think you're a good footballer at everything, but the fucking bit that matters, and you, mate. I think you are a nice player, but you're not a number 6. You're not a number 8. You wear the number 8. You're a number 10, and we're measuring you. Are you going to score or assist? You're not doing neither. Saka and Trossard were not clinical at the weekend. And again, Christian, another dicing with death game where that VAR could go for Everton, should have gone for Everton, didn't. Yeah. That would have been 1-1, and another drop point. Same as Sunderland, 2-1, clinging on, 2-2. They're doing this. Villa, 1-1, lost 2-1. These away games for Arsenal, they're slightly better at home, although Wolves wasn't great. This is going to catch up with them, these away games. They are catching up with them, Christian.
Alex, it's not sustainable. I mean, if you look at it, they need to make investments in January to win this league. And it doesn't and it doesn't sound like they're going to do it. Semenyo would be perfect. Semenyo would be perfect for that for their team. But they're not going to do it.
Martinelli's he's in that bloody jar of players we hate.
They did blow a lot of money in the summer. Maybe they haven't got enough FFP-wise to spend. I don't know, but apparently they're not in for him. We all know Chelsea will have him anyway. They need another winger.
No facts. Look, they desperately need Gabriel back because we know how they're going to try and win this title, and they need to keep clean sheets because they ain't scoring 2 a game. So the only way to win games at the minute for Arsenal is keeping clean sheets, and they've fucked off for a bit. Okay, you got one, but Everton are the second worst attack in the league, mate. So
Alex, they're not winning the league. I'm telling you that right now. And I'm not saying that because I'm flexing on City. I openly, before in the video, said we didn't get out of second gear against West Ham. Still a good win. But
this will be
there's concerns with us, but we can score goals, Alex. Offensively, we are better than Arsenal.
Exactly.
I'm not having anyone tell me any different.
No, they've got to look at they've got to look in the mirror. All of them, the forwards. You can blame Arteta, but Arteta's not telling him to miss guilt-edged chances like Saka and Trossard did at the weekend. And Odegaard, is he telling Odegaard not to shoot? I'm sorry. I'm all for piling in. I think we've got a crap manager. Arteta is negative. I appreciate that. But at some point, these guys have got to get together and go, is Saka and Trossard and Gyökeres working together on the training pitch every single minute of the week, working each other's runs, movements, partnerships? Because I don't think they have any idea what they're doing. Because Gyökeres, they're all on different pages. And you said... Jesus brings elements of chaos. I tell you, they need Havertz back. Because Havertz is good for 13, 14 goals.
And especially if he hits the ground running off the back of the injury and he manages to get them 15 in the time they've got left, then it could be enough. I'm not saying it will be. I really don't think it will.
It'll be their top
exactly.
scorer.
I mean, Alex, you're looking at this now with Gyökeres as well. I mean, I don't think... They're going to need to go again.
5 goals, 2 pens. No, 5 goals, 2 pens. It stinks, man. Look, Leeds beat Palace in a shock one, 4-1. And we've touched on Calvert-Lewin, Christian, and he's up to 7 goals now. Goal scorers goals, not really for him. Flick-ons, 6-yard box, rebounds. He's there. He knows how to navigate the penalty box. Dominic Calvert-Lewin knows his way around the box. He knows his way around the league. And he's going to keep Leeds up, in my opinion.
Shout out Calvert-Lewin, mate. I think, look, it's good to see him reviving his career. He's had a couple of real tough seasons, a lot of injuries. I always like Calvert-Lewin. I mean, I remember there was a time, I think it was the Ancelotti spell, and we were in a bit of that difficult false nine period where we didn't really know what we were going to do striker-wise. Yeah. His name was being mentioned. And that's how good he was actually rated back in the day.
Him and James first half.
That is the mate Liam's. That's still up on Liam's bedroom wall. That
was an elite combination, wasn't it?
Mate, it's good to see him back, and fair play. It's a heavy victory. I did predict a win for Leeds. I just thought they'd have a little bit too much at home advantage, but they absolutely blitzed them. So yeah, big up.
Yeah, and Ampadu as well. I thought I don't watch every Leeds game. I'm sure most people don't. I thought in the second half at City, Ampadu was the best player on the pitch, and he was right place, right time. The more I see of him, the more I like, and he's a good footballer. Another one knows his way around the midfield position, and the last couple of times I've seen him, he's been very, very good.
I think you're right.
Shout out Ampadu, man, and I think Leeds are looking at Ellen Road becoming a little bit of a fortress again, and that's a heavy one for Palace. And my mate Dean Henderson again watching another free kick sail past him in the last minute because he's 5'4" and don't dive apparently. Crap.
Yeah, it was
another one that's left United and doing amazing apparently. Shit. Right, last one, last night, M&F. Not going to spend too long on this. Look, Dyche Ball has its negatives, and they are away games at Fulham on Monday nights. Look, I think Dyche is going to be great. They're going to be good at home. They're going to be a tough out at Forest. Away from home, they're going to be low scoring. There's going to be 0-0s. There's going to be 1-0 losses. There's going to be the odd 1-0 win. Christian, did you take much away from this game?
No, I mean, a penalty 1-0 win against Dyche is just a bit of... It's exactly what it says on the tin. If you didn't watch the highlights, you're not going to, are you? So,
well, me and you did, but that's because of this channel.
We did because we had to. But no, look, it's one of them. I can't actually remember what I predicted in that one. What did we predict in that game? I did. I think I did say Fulham.
I think you did. Yeah, I think you
might have got that one wrong. Yeah, I think with them games, Alex, you do just back home advantage sometimes, not for any other reason than what it is. Look, they just had enough to go over the line. Fulham, I feel like Fulham are in that mix where Fulham are kind of overachieving, really, if you look at it, in my opinion. Because if you look at league table,
some form, haven't they, Christian? Yeah.
I think they'll be. I think Fulham fans will be quite happy. They were a famous yo-yo side. Look, they look pretty solid now.
He was under massive pressure. Feels like a month ago, Marco Silva, and like I said, they're sitting in 13th on 23 points. Man United 7th on 26th.
They've got some nice young, exciting players as well, Fulham. I mean, we saw that against us. They can have a bit of an explosion, can't they?
Yeah. Obviously, Kevin's turn. He was lively, won the pen. Soft one, in my opinion, but fair play. But yeah,
it's just a thing on that though. Kevin getting that penalty. Look, was there enough contact for him to throw himself to the ground? Absolutely not. As there also wasn't with the Everton one. Was it Barry or it was one of them? One of the chuckles went round.
Yeah, Saliba.
And Saliba kicks him at the back of the foot. For me, it's a pen. I don't get the inconsistencies. I'm not having a pop at Arsenal, but Alex, the other way round, you are telling me with that fan base, the other way round with Arsenal, they would be going mental saying it's corruption.
Of course. Yeah,
so there's got to be consistency here.
They need to just decide whether it's a pen or not, because you're right, it's inconsistencies. I feel like we've had a few like that, and it's been, again, inconsistent with the decision-making, with the old, someone's gone to clear it in the box, someone's got their leg in the way, kicked it, but that's what Kevin did.
Alex, for me, do you know when it's one of them situations, and when people go, "Oh, well, would you like that one against you?" No, I wouldn't. But do you know who I'd be more angry at? The dopey defender.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the officiating.
Again,
and
he's late by a split second. That's the rules of the game. It gets manipulated in certain situations, and VAR. You've got to be getting these right. Whatever the fucking thing is. If you say that's not a pen, fine, we all move forward. I agree with you. I don't love it. But at the same time, you can't give one on Monday Night Football.
Well, Alex, what I'd be interested to hear is the reason as to why there wasn't enough for the Arsenal one. Presumably, this is what they must have said, because the contact is, undoubtedly there. So they've obviously said it wasn't enough for him to go down in the way he has.
Yeah.
Right, fine. Now you are opening a severe grey area, though, because you lot give a lot where there is no reason for the player to be hitting the deck. So you can't create this. You've either got to give all of them or give fucking none of them.
I totally agree. And that is Game Week 17. So if you've got to the end of the video, massively appreciate it. Sorry if your team are last. We do touch on every single game, though. So let us know in the comments, who's your team? How did they get on? Let us know what you think. Hit a like, obviously, if you like the video, and obviously subscribe to the channel. We massively appreciate it. And we'll be back with predictions on a separate vid, and then another review, hopefully, before this fixture clog up with, obviously, Christmas. Going to be difficult. We're going to try and do it, obviously.
Just before, bro, because we forgot to do it last time, didn't we? And I'm putting you on the spot because we didn't actually prepare for this. But who was yours? I can go first if you'd like.
Okay.
Best goal of the weekend first. Do you have yours in mind, or do you want me to go first?
You go first, but I know who it's going to be.
Well, I think it's quite easy because you watched it a fair few replays. So, Morgan Rogers, I think, superb, man.
Yeah.
Look, angled it, telegraphed it, but it's the one place when he cuts in there. It's the one place he can really put it.
Yeah, goal of the week, Morgan Rogers. Obviously assisted by Lenny Oro with his shite defending. But yeah, no.
Who would you go, Alex? Who would you go for Donut of the Week award? Because I've got mine. And I think we might have the same one.
Donut of the Week.
Do you want me to go?
Go on.
Romero, 100%.
Yeah.
The guy is a bozo.
No, I agree. Let's do a joint award. Javi Simons and Cristiano Romero.
Yeah. Do you know what? Well, he was my other one, but the reason for Romero is because he also had a say in the goal. So, yeah, but no, I'm happy with that, mate.
Yeah, look, if you get intentionally sent off when your team is on top in a big game at home, you are going to win this award every week, and it won't be the last time. Richarlison, he'll have his moment. They're just a team of divs, and they have no control. And if your captain is doing that, if your captain is winning loser of the week, there's a big problem. Biggest winner of the week, Christian.
Biggest winner of the week. I think. Do you know what? It's tough because if I had to go between, I really want Calvert-Lewin to be up there because I'm really happy for him that he's reviving his career. But Morgan Rogers, look, he did put in 2 bangers.
Yeah.
No, do you know what? If I'm picking one, I'm going to go Calvert-Lewin, actually.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair, mate. Look, obviously, he was the difference in a very tough game. I'm going to go Voltemade because he must have had the week from hell, and he came back really strongly with a brace. Should have been a hat-trick. But
I like that. That second goal, Alex, by the way, that deft touch. Oh, beautiful finish.
That should have been his hat-trick as well. He had a very similar one and didn't get enough on that one. But no, brilliant. And look, showed some bollocks. Newcastle fans must be chuffed with that after... God, what must his week have been like after an OG in his first ever replacing Alexander Isak in your first Sunderland game, my God. But anyway, no
No,
shouting. Thank you all for listening. Massively appreciate that. We'll be back with more reviews and predictions on the channel in the usual place. Thank you all. Have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.